Hello, and welcome back to Life on the Rocks, the channel dedicated to all things related to geology. I am your host, Cameron Thompson. If you remember in the last video I made before my exchange trip, I made a promise to talk about various rock localities from across the state. One thing I wanted to do with this channel since I started it was cover an expedition to a location with geological material and document my findings. Another part of 4-H I participate in is exhibiting geology boxes at the Shawnee County Fair in downtown Topeka. As a part of this video that I originally intended to post a while back, I will cover the state field trip I went on in the second week of June and the specimens I found along the way. However, before I cover my trip and these specimens, we have a paleo shout-out. Today's shout-out goes to Amans Gresley. Born in Switzerland on July 17, 1814, Amans Gresley was a Swiss geologist who made a ton of contributions to the field of paleontology. Gresley was the original geologist who proposed the idea of facies, or sedimentary rocks with characteristics like fossils, to determine how sedimentary rocks formed. Gresley also contributed to paleontology by describing two sauropodomorph dinosaurs, including the prosauropod Gresliosaurus and the Turisaurian Amansia. Sadly, Amans Gresley passed away due to a stroke in 1865. However, his work and contributions were dedicated in 2004 by the Swiss Paleontological Society. But for now, let's get back to the video. Before the trip could actually get underway, it is important to note that the land I was hunting on this trip was approved by the authority of the landowners and the 4-H program. Also, the area I was hunting at was down in southeast Kansas, in the tri-state mining area that intersects Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma. On day one of the trip, my journey started along the historic Route 66 in Joplin, Missouri. The majority of the day was spent in a mine built up with rain from the night before. As for the specimens I collected, nothing was truly show-worthy, excluding two exceptions. The first specimen that caught my attention was dolomite, a tan mineral that is considered to be soft, with a 3.5 on the most hardness scale. Another exquisite specimen was calcite, another common mineral throughout Kansas. Here you can see the cleavage, or how a rock or mineral breaks based on parallel surfaces, is straight rather than taking the shape of a cube-like figure. These specimens I collected in western Kansas are a reference for what calcite would look like before its metamorphosis into a mineral. After hunting was done for the day, one place I stopped was the Joplin History and Mineral Museum. I won't go into too much detail with the museum, but I will say it was a fun museum to learn about the history of mining in the tri-state area, learn about the importance of minerals used in everyday products like bowling balls, and meet the museum's mascot, Leonard the Parasaurolophus. On the second and final day of the trip, the land was not as rich for hunting this time around. The night before, storms were scheduled, and it was hard to make it to some spots we planned on hunting at. Our group, however, had a plan. A mining company in Pittsburgh, Kansas, was willing to donate the group some of the rocks they mine on the daily. The rocks I collected were variations of what is known from Shawnee County in Kansas, specifically weathered specimens of shale and limestone. The last stop for the entire group on the trip was a protected wildlife area in Cherokee County, just several minutes down the road. Two specimens I added to my collection were bituminous coal, or coal that contains traces of a type of petroleum, and an unidentified species of sponge that I thought was a mineral until I looked at it under a magnifying glass. I attend this trip regularly each year to assemble the boxes I exhibit at the Shawnee County Fair, and a huge thanks is in order to the State 4-H Geology team for their hard work and dedication to the program. With that out of the way, thank you again for tuning into another episode on the channel. Stay tuned for the next episode dedicated to one of my favorite fossil specimens. And as always, don't forget to get out and live life on the rocks.